So it's all about being there to help others, and in turn this also helps you feel like you are important, you are valuable, you are needed.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of The Fun Investors. My name is Gladys, and on today's episode we are going to discuss compassionate giving. The Bible clearly teaches us that the more we give, the more we receive. And in Luke 10:25-37, Jesus gives a classic story of the Good Samaritan who helped a dying man on the road by giving his resources, his time, as well as his skills to see that man back on his feet. He is a true definition of hospitality. At times, to help others and volunteer in assisting others in different ways, it is not only finances that you can give. You can as well give up your time. You can as well give up your skills to the people in need. For instance, in a children's home, they might be needing you to just be there with them, spend time with them, and feeling your love around them. So it is important that we notice that generosity is all about giving what God has given us in abundance, which can be time and which can be a skill, and it's not necessarily about finances. You may be wondering, how come I cannot give much because I do not earn much? Well, opportunities are always there for you to help others whenever you are. The classic story of the Good Samaritan is a clear indication. He just was on his way doing his errands and he met that person who was in need of his help. So it is important that we realize that whatever we can give, we should definitely share it out with those people in need. And over to you, McKenna, to discuss the importance of being generous.
Thank you so much, Gwen. Now over to the purpose of generosity. Why is generosity important? First and foremost is that it increases your lifespan. I mean, who would have known this? There's research done in the University of Michigan that states that it has positive effects when you're generous. It first of all reduces your stress, it boosts your immune system, it also creates a sense of purpose. Now, who wouldn't want to live long and have a sense of purpose, right? So it's so important to give, not just for the sake of giving, but because there's other added benefits. I mean, your health improves, there's a sense of calmness. Have you ever felt calm when you go to a children's home? You donate clothes or food, or you go to a home for the elderly, you help them with dancing and fitness. There's a sense of, I belong, I have, someone needs me. That comes through when you give. And so as you keep giving, you also get better at reducing your stress, and this also creates longevity in your life. Second, it cements purpose. Now, we all live on this planet for a reason, one reason or another. There are different ways of being generous. You can be generous with your knowledge, you can be generous with information, you can be generous with your skills, you can be generous with donating food to people, you can be generous with giving people time and hearing what they're saying to make someone else feel better, like a counselor. So it's all about being there to help others, and in turn this also helps you feel like you are important, you are valuable, you are needed. Okay. Third, it promotes social connections and improves relationships. There's a verse in the Bible, please allow me to read it, that says, Proverbs 21:13. If a man shuts his ears to the cause of the poor, he too will cry out and not be answered. This basically just means that when you give to others, you don't only make them feel closer to you, but you make yourself feel closer to them. But if you don't give to others, don't expect others to come and reciprocate the same thing. Do to others what you want them to do unto yourself. So if you want others to come to you, if you want to feel that feeling of closeness, of community, do unto them what you want them to do unto you. Give. Because being generous has never ever made anyone feel less worthy of who they are. It only makes you and the person next to you feel better and more confident as a human being. Over to you, Brenda.
Thank you so much, McKenna. Another thing you want to look at when giving is analyzing the need or the problems. And I will start this by quoting the book of Proverbs 19:17, which states that whoever lends to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward them for that. So before you help, offer that helping hand, make sure you understand where the need is. Giving must be done in context. Don't give something that they don't need at that moment, because it will beat the purpose of giving. Make sure you take your time, analyze, invest, and know the plight of the people around you and what exactly that they need. And after doing that, you'll be able to know where to come in. A good example is during this pandemic, you find that most families lack basic necessities in their homes, or even house rent for that matter. Make sure you understand that and know that that is what they need. And that's where you come in. Do not go buying them probably something like a TV or a phone, something that they really don't need at that moment, because it will beat the purpose of giving. Giving must be done in a way that it makes someone solve their immediate problem. So I would just advise at this moment, look around you, even for your house manager. If you've been offering a certain amount of money, this is the time to you can stretch your hand a bit, offer a little bit more. Your guard at the gate, you find that probably you don't know if he has that need, but you can just look around and see and know where his problems are and just offer help at that moment. Make sure you are very alert to your environment and know when there is a need and where there is a need. And if you are able to help, that is the moment you can help. Yeah, so before you give, make sure you know where the problem is and where the need is. That's it from me. Thank you guys. And over to you, Mugambi.
Thank you, Brenda. After analyzing the needs, what you would want to offer is a short-term or a long-term solution to this particular need. And of course, when you are talking about short-term, look at things like emergencies or something that is unforeseeable. And of course, you do not want to get people hooked to handouts, because the moment you start giving out money, it is something that you cannot be able to sustain in the long run. So basically, address to that specific need at that particular time. If somebody is in need of food, just provide the food. If somebody needs assistance to pay maybe a hospital bill, just do so. If somebody is involved in an accident and they need to be evacuated and you can be able to offer that assistance, just do so. Because at the end of the day, these are emergencies. These are things that are not going to happen each and every other time. And these are not areas that people will keep on asking money for. And in so doing, you'll be able to provide that short-term solution to address to that specific need. Remember, short-term means that it's something that will not be able to occur every other time. It is for that particular moment and it is done. So basically, analyze your needs in that particular line, in the sense that you'd want to look at the things that you want to address at that particular time, and of course the things that you would want to provide a long-term solution, which again Esther will talk about.
Thank you so much, Mugambi. The second solution that we want to offer is structured giving. When we talk about structured giving, what we want you to do is be intentional, include in your budget, so either your monthly budget, your quarterly budget, your annual budget, include within your budget an amount for giving. It could be 1%, it could be 5%, depending on your discretion, but then include intentionally an amount that you want to give. Now, when we talk about giving in a structured way, you can give this through credible institutions or through credible people. When we talk about credible institutions, you can look for local institutions within your area. It could be a church, it could be a foundation, but you can be able to find institutions around you where you can give, and people who are credible, they can give an account of the funds that you have given to them. Secondly, when I talk about credible people, you want to give funds to someone who will actually appreciate the giving that you have given to them. So these are people who are accountable in and of themselves. So it's not someone who you're going to give them money and then they run away with it, but you want people who will be accountable. Yeah, so in summary, you want to be very intentional and structured about your budget. You want to be able to give to a credible institution or a credible individual. And lastly, I would want you to know that you want to give to a cause that is close to your heart. Give to something that you believe believe in those values, give to something that you agree with. So you don't want to just pick something strange and random out there, but this needs to be something, a cause that is close to your heart. So thank you very much, and over to you, Gladys.
That's it from us today. Thank you, Makena, Mugambi, Esther, and Brenda, for sharing your insights on compassionate giving and generosity. And to all our viewers, thank you so much for always tuning in and watching our videos. We really appreciate your presence. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit that notification bell for videos every Thursday. Also remember to like and share this video with your networks. See you!